tried to aim for against Hikaru. Ever so slightly better, but slightly, strategically speaking. And keep the game running for as long as possible and try and find an opportunity if it presents itself. Of course, Hikaru still big favorite to not lose a position like this, but certainly lots of play left. So I'm curious how this one will play out.
Yeah, and the reason that myself, Lawrence, say that white is strategically better, at least symbolically, is because white's bishop is on the dark squares. And if you look at the central pawn structure, black's bishop potentially will get locked in behind its own pawns on those dark squares. In terms of pawn structure, both sides have a set of double pawns. But white has one pawn island. All of the white pawns protect each other, whereas black's pawns are split in two. There's definitely a divide in the center there. These are very much long-term factors which don't really play a part in the dynamics, in the tactics of the position, which might well decide this blitz game, which often decides blitz games. But yeah, it's certainly easy for Nepomniachtchi to find a plan. White's going to put the queen on e2. White's going to bring his rooks to the center. And we will see if Nakamura can find a productive plan of his own for black. I'm expecting him to double up rooks on the d file and to just sit and say, okay, you can't make any more progress. That tends to be black's most common idea in this type of position. He pushes c5, however. He's pushing a pawn forward. And there we go, challenging white's pawn edifice, trying to remove his own set of double pawns, trying to trade off white's set of double pawns. Interesting decision, committal. Long-term, again, not necessarily the move you want to play, but Nakamura wants the energy. He wants to pose direct questions to Nepomniachtchi. And on the clock, that seems to be paying off. He's 30 seconds ahead as black here, Nakamura. Like we said yesterday, Lawrence, we never see Nakamura behind on the clock. That's how he wins most of his blitz games.
Yeah, indeed. And I think this position is just fine for him now. BC5.
The black knight could capture here, putting some pressure on some pawns. White's pawn on d3 is especially tender. Yeah, looking very healthy here for Nakamura. And wow, Lawrence, huge decision there. Looks like Nakamura agreed to a draw. Nepomniachtchi offered a draw after capturing on c5. And wow, Nakamura says yes. It just looked like he was starting to turn things around.